Joining me now, a guy pretty familiar with the NYPD and with Rudy Giuliani. He's former New York City Police Commissioner Bernark Kerik. Bernie, thanks for phoning in. And
Morning, JD.
it's so good to have you, sir.
Thank you.
To hear Mayor Giuliani talk about the makeup of police forces and how to deal with different segments of the community, do you agree by and large with what the mayor had to say?
Yes, I do. And I think what people don't realize, yesterday I spoke to the chief who's in charge of the major city chiefs organization in the country. And he agreed with me in that police departments all over the country right now are doing extremely good jobs at, bringing minorities into the departments to match the communities they work in, some more successful at others. But we're doing, I think the police departments around the country know that there's a problem. I think they are trying to deal with the problem. And like I said, some areas better than others, but, they're trying to do the best they can.
Well, mindful of that, someone else used to hold the job that you held, Ray Kelly, former NY police commissioner, said that Ferguson needs to diversify its police department. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think it is. Look, you have 57, 58 guys. I don't know what the exact numbers were. I think it was 57 cops and 3 African-American cops in a predominantly African-American community. Naturally, you need more African-Americans if you can get them. The problem is, what is your recruitment ability? What are your standards? Are you getting people to apply from within the community? I've seen communities here in New Jersey and on the East Coast that have predominantly African-American communities where a lot of the people in the community will not apply. And they have to go outside the community to bring people in. You have to look at those the requirements and see why they're not getting more African Americans, more Hispanics in the department.
Bernie, a couple of minutes remain, and we would be remiss if we did not tackle the subject of the continued visibility and outspokenness of Al Sharpton in Ferguson, expressing dissatisfaction with the grand jury, asking the feds to come in and continue the case against Officer Wilson. At this point, what about Sharpton and his role as a catalyst for what may yet come in Ferguson?
You know what, JD? I mean, I'm disappointed in this guy. As a civil rights leader, I think the number one civil right in this country is for people to live in communities safe and sound. And I think what he does is inflames. I think he incites. I think he antagonizes. And I think his rhetoric is one of the things that fuels these protests that turn into riots. People are calling these people peaceful protesters out in Ferguson, and they're not. They're not. What I've seen are riots, arsonists, burglaries, robberies, violent behavior, violent assaults. Those aren't peaceful protesters. And every time Al Sharpton gets up there and spews his rhetoric, that's what we see as a result. And I think it's, if you're the true civil rights leader that you say you are, why aren't you in Chicago when they have 82 people shot on a weekend, predominantly, the most of them black? Why aren't you in Chicago when they have 42 shot on a weekend? Why aren't you in other urban communities where black-on-black crime is completely off the charts?
Bernie, 30 seconds remain, so 15-second answer. Do you expect the DOJ to move forward in some way in terms of a federal case against Officer Wilson?
I would hope they would not. I think the evidence that they have or would have access to is the same evidence that's already been put before a grand jury. I think that was pretty conclusive. and I would hope they would let this thing, let us move on from this.
And fair enough. We'll have to move on right here. Bernark Kerik, we thank you for your time.